You're streaming live now from Fox on this Thursday, December 30th. As promised, we are getting into some coverage of a breaking news situation that we brought to you over the weekend. This was that update from police in Garland, Texas, talking about the fact that a situation unfolded at a convenience store on Sunday when a 14-year-old allegedly opened fire, then killing 3 teenagers. Garland police now seeking help from the public to find this 14-year-old. So I do want to head out there to Garland, Texas, where we are being joined by Fox 4 Dallas's Dan Godwin. Dan, definitely a very crazy situation making national headlines. What can you tell us this morning?
Yeah, certainly a very disturbing crime, Regina. Police here in Garland, Texas say the person who pulled the trigger in this triple murder is 14 years old. His name is Abel Acosta. For now, officers say he has evaded capture. He is on the run, and they say he should be considered armed and dangerous. Police put out a photo of Abel Acosta from a social media posting holding a gun. Detectives say he's the one seen on surveillance video from Sunday night shooting into a gas station convenience store, killing 3 other teens, an apparent act of retaliation. Now his father, 33-year-old Richard Acosta Jr., is in jail, charged with capital murder. Investigators say Richard Acosta drove the pickup truck that was used as the getaway vehicle. Now detectives say a previous disturbance involving at least one of the shooting victims led up to Sunday's deadly attack, but police are not going into great detail about that previous disturbance. But again, the 14-year-old alleged gunman in this case, as we mentioned, still on the loose. The shooting victims, the ones who were killed, ages 14, 16, and 17 years old. Regina, back to you.
Yeah, and Dan, interesting situation at the fact that we learned earlier, police actually originally arrested another 14-year-old boy that wasn't this suspect that they're now looking for. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, there was an arrest made earlier this week, again, of a 14-year-old suspect who police say strongly resembled the shooter who is seen in that grisly store surveillance video. But officers, about a day later, they said that the person they originally had in custody was not the shooter. They say that suspect was cooperative and had what they described as intimate knowledge of the shooting. But again, he's been released and the search is on for this other 14-year-old.
Dan, have police mentioned anything to you and your team about any possible motive of why this could have happened?
Yeah, all they're saying at this point is they believe there was a previous disturbance of some kind involving at least one, possibly 2 of the shooting victims. But they're not elaborating. They're withholding any more information than that, as this is, of course, still very much an active investigation. So again, we know there was some kind of perhaps a previous disturbance as it's being described by detectives.
And Dan, as this investigation is ongoing, I understand that this has been such a shock to that community. What can you tell us about the vigil that was held in that area last night?
Well, it was actually a couple of nights ago, a vigil out in front of the Garland Police Department. Friends and loved ones of the 3 teens who were killed. They also wanted to send a message to the police that they are, of course, very urgently seeking justice in this case, as well as taking the opportunity again a couple of nights ago to honor the memory of the victims. We do know that one of the young men who was shot, 14-year-old Xavier Gonzalez, he was simply an innocent bystander in the store who just happened to be in the store when this shooting occurred. That 14-year-old victim was simply there to purchase a few items for his family, and of course when he departed for the store, that was the last they would ever see him.
Absolutely tragic, Dan, and as you said, very disturbing situation. We'll continue to keep an eye on this situation and touch base with you and your team as this investigation is ongoing. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. You have a great day and a Happy New Year.
Okay. Thanks, Regina. You too.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, as we continue our coverage on this very disturbing situation, as Dan said, their team did put together a story speaking with the family members as that vigil was held a couple of nights ago in the Garland, Texas area. So I do want to bring you that here on Live Now from Fox. Let's listen in for a moment.
3 families and an entire community are left with heartache.
And we just want justice.
Little closure.
We have none.
And a load of questions.
Understand that there is a process.
Tuesday evening, a vigil was held outside the Garland convenience store where 3 teenagers were shot and killed just 48 hours earlier. Maria Pabila's younger brother, 17-year-old Rafael Garcia, was one of the victims.
I don't think our family will be the same without him.
Garcia came to the store with his friend, 16-year-old Ivan Noyala, who was also killed. Little remains known about Noyala, and Garland police now say the murderer was targeting someone inside that Texaco and that it was retaliation murder.
One or more of the victims inside the store was involved in a previous disturbance with the shooter.
Tuesday, Garland police say they released the 14-year-old they suspected to be the shooter caught on surveillance video opening fire into the store. Police say the teen didn't pull the trigger, but had information that took the investigation in a different direction. Tonight, police addressed the crowd gathered for the vigil.
When we took him into custody as a suspect, okay, we brought him back and we began talking to him. And the information that he gave us let us know that he had knowledge of this shooting. But just because he had knowledge does not mean he pulled the trigger.
Also Tuesday, 33-year-old Richard Acosta Jr., the suspected getaway driver, turned himself in. Acosta is now charged with capital murder, but it's unclear if he's cooperating with police.
This investigation will not sleep until we actually get that person off the street.
It couldn't come sooner for the family of 14-year-old Xavier Gonzalez, an innocent bystander. Gonzalez's family still in disbelief as the memorial outside the Texaco gas station grows.
The sad part is that we have to put him down and he will not have peace because the shooter, whoever it was, is still out there.
Peyton Yeager, Fox 4 News.